Any girl with a male best friend knows the deal. Compared to their boyfriends, their male best friends are the ones they truly open up to. Later, I saw an iMessage from her male best friend to her. It read, "This poor guy, just have fun with him. Don't take it seriously." When I finally gave up and left, she cried, questioning why I would betray our love. I just laughed and said, "I was just having fun with you. Don't take it seriously." On Ava Lynn's birthday, she was dressed in a sexy outfit, but refused to let me take her to the bar. I glanced at her exposed back and asked softly, "Is Ethan Edwards going to be there again?" Ava's hand paused while she was applying her lipstick, and her tone grew impatient. "Can you stop obsessing over Ethan? I've told you, we're just friends." She knows I dislike Ethan, but she never reflects on her own actions, always making me feel like I'm overreacting. I didn't respond, and Ava seemed to realize her tone was harsh, so she softened her voice. "Don't overthink it. I'm not taking you because our friend groups don't mix, remember? Didn't you say you don't like my friends? I promise I'll be back before midnight, and then we can celebrate, just the two of us. Honey, wait for me at home." As she said this, she leaned in to kiss my earlobe and then left with her bag. That ultra-thin dress she was wearing would reveal far too much whenever she bent over. I had mentioned it to her many times, but it always just led to an argument. Ava always said that only insecure men care about what a woman wears. A real man focuses on how to protect his girlfriend. But how was I supposed to protect her? Every time she went out with her shady friends, she claimed it was inconvenient to bring me along because they didn't know me. Well, this time I said nothing. Ava hesitated at the door and turned to look at me. "Honey, why aren't you saying anything? Don't you care about me anymore?" "Oh, it's my birthday today. It would be rude not to invite them. I promise I'll go out with them less in the future." I didn't respond, just smiled. She didn't know that not only would I not care this time, but I would never care about her again. Ava and I once had some wonderful memories together. During my internship, I was often so busy with work that I forget to eat. She would always show up with a lunchbox, claiming she had made it herself. Then she would smile and watch me finish every bite before insisting we go buy her favorite Haagen-Dazs ice cream. On those hot summer nights, she would complain about being tired after just a few steps, asking me to carry her on my back. Ava always smelled so nice, and she was light as a feather. We would walk down the street like that to buy her favorite ice cream, then walk back to my office before driving off. I enjoyed that simple happiness, but Ava often complained that I wasn't romantic and didn't know how to make a girl happy. To please her, I frequently searched online for date ideas, racking my brain for new ways to surprise her. Now that I think about it, the whole internet is dedicated to teaching men how to care for their girlfriends, but why doesn't it ever teach women how to love men? Later, I found out she was getting too close with her childhood friend, Ethan, and I mentioned it a few times. At first, she would patiently explain, but eventually, she grew more and more impatient. She insisted it was normal for friends of the opposite sex to be close, that Ethan was her male best friend, and their friendship was purely platonic. After arguing about it too many times, I chose to break up peacefully. 3 years later, Ava and I met again through work. She was with the client's company, and not only did she help me close several deals, but she also frequently brought up old times, even bringing me lunch boxes to make sure I ate. In front of everyone at my company, she passionately confessed her love for me, saying she regretted losing me and had been single all these years, just waiting for me. Her words were so sincere that, amidst the cheers of my colleagues, I drank too much and we got back together. Everyone said Ava loved me to her core, that women like her were rare and I should cherish her. But if she truly loved me, how could she be so ambiguous with another man? That night, I must have been drunk out of my mind to believe that people could actually change. I lit a cigarette, changed my clothes, and headed out around 7 or 8 in the evening. The city was bustling with lights and people. I bought some beer and barbecue, sat down on a curb, and just watched everything silently. Then, I bought a ticket for a movie I'd been wanting to see for a long time. We had planned to watch this movie together before it was even released, but now it was almost out of theaters, and we still hadn't gotten around to it. She had too many friends and too many plans. Whenever I asked if we could set a date to see it, she would blink those innocent eyes and coyly say she was sorry, but she had already made plans with friends. She might have thought it was cute, but after it happened so many times, all I could do was smile bitterly. Thankfully, I had come to terms with it by now. Without Ava at the movie, and without her constant chatter in my ear, I could fully concentrate on the film. After the movie ended, I turned my head and saw two people on the platform in the central square passionately kissing. The crowd around them was cheering, urging them to get together. After a long kiss, the man turned around, wiped his lips, and smirked. Who said I couldn't handle it? We've kissed. Now let's go back and continue the fun. It was Ethan. I stopped in my tracks and saw the woman in his arms, her face flushed. As expected, it was Ava. Through the crowd, Ava saw me and broke free from Ethan, running quickly in my direction. Unfortunately for her, I didn't wait. When Ava rushed back to our apartment, I had already packed most of my belongings. The idea of breaking up with her wasn't a new one. I was just waiting for the right moment, a moment that would make me give up completely. Now that the moment had arrived, she was in a panic, rushing to hug me. "James, what are you doing?" "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just drank too much today, and it was just a dare. They told me to kiss Ethan outside, and I thought this might be the last time I see him, so I didn't refuse. I'll never do it again." She reached out to take the suitcase from my hand, but I gently pushed her away. All her explanations were useless. If there was nothing going on between them, why would their friends dare them to kiss in the first place? The Lynn family and the Edwards family were the wealthiest and most influential in their circle. If there weren't already signs of something happening, no one would have dared to suggest it. I had intended to break up peacefully, but hearing her excuses, I couldn't help but laugh coldly. See, she knew exactly why I wanted to leave. She knew what she did wrong. So why was she so confident in her excuses before? Are you apologizing for betraying my trust? Or are you just sorry you got caught? Ava's face stiffened, as if my words had wounded her. Her long eyelashes fluttered, and tears quickly welled up in her eyes. Seeing that I wasn't rushing to comfort her like I used to, she paused and then apologized softly, claiming it was just an accident and that she never expected Ethan to suddenly kiss her. I already didn't believe her, and my disbelief was confirmed when I saw her phone light up on the table. I saw the message preview at a glance. Ethan was still her top pinned contact on iMessage, even though she claimed she had removed him. Clearly, another lie. The message read, "He's really that mad about a dare? He's so poor and petty. What do you even see in a guy like that? Just have fun with him, don't take it seriously." Ava saw it too. She awkwardly flipped her phone face down on the table and then clung to me again, reaching out for a hug. She used to act cute like this all the time, but now, as she got close, I could smell the scent of smoke mixed with her perfume. I didn't know if she had started smoking behind my back or if it was Ethan's smell on her. Either way, it disgusted me. A woman who is nothing but lies. Seeing the cold look in my eyes, Ava froze for a moment, then nervously snuggled closer. "Honey, I'm a little drunk today. Let's just go to sleep, and we can talk about this tomorrow, okay? They say you should never go to bed angry. I'll do whatever you want tonight, okay?" I started to reflect. Maybe I had been too accommodating in the past, which gave her the illusion that she could get away with anything. But why on earth would she think I would always be there waiting for her? So I smiled. "Whatever I want." "Fine. Then let's break up." Ava clearly didn't expect that answer. She was stunned for a moment. Then her shock turned to anger. She was always like this. No matter how big her mistake, if I didn't bring it up, she'd act innocent. If I did, she'd get defensive and make it seem like I was the one being unreasonable. She turned away, looking impatient. "James, you're being ridiculous. I told you, Ethan is just a friend. We've known each other since elementary school. Does being in a relationship with you mean I have to cut off all my other friends?" Seeing my lack of reaction, she complained, "You're so heartless. Fine, leave, but don't ever come back. And leave everything I ever bought you here." Ava came from a wealthy family and always despised my simple clothes. She insisted I dress according to her taste, in expensive suits and designer watches. As an ordinary office worker, those things were only useful when I was with her. So before I left, I had already put everything she bought me back in the bedroom, not taking a single item. Ava's eyes were red, making it look as if I was the one who had wronged her. James, I agree that you need to cool down, but I absolutely do not agree to breaking up. I ignored her, blocked her number, and walked out. But Ava didn't give up. She came to my office every single day. Since she was from a client company, my colleagues were always polite to her. Some even praised her in front of me, telling me not to take her for granted. In response to their comments, Ava would always act shy and modest. No matter how many times I warned her to stop, she turned a deaf ear. After a few days of this, I stopped holding back and retorted directly, "Yeah, I may have kissed another man behind my boyfriend's back, but I'm still a good girl, right, Ava?" Ava's face turned red with anger, and she threw a tantrum right there, cursing me out. I just ignored her, and the next day, I applied to have someone else handle her company's account. No matter how many messages she sent, I didn't reply. Until one day, Ethan came to see me personally. It was actually quite funny. Ever since the breakup, Ava had been posting ambiguous statuses on her Facebook, paired with sad music and emotional captions on TikTok, fully embracing the role of a heartbroken lover. This apparently stirred a great deal of pity in Ethan, who came to confront me, the so-called unforgivable jerk. As soon as I accepted his follow request on Instagram, Ethan sent me a long message, every word dripping with condescension. "James, who do you think you are? You're a poor kid from an average family. If it weren't for Ava liking you, people like us wouldn't even give you the time of day. You and we are from two completely different worlds. You're just a social climber. So why are you making so many demands? Let me be blunt. We can't stand people like you, which is why we'll never let you into our circle. What? Did you think that dating Ava would be your ticket to the high life?" I didn't reply. Instead, I took a screenshot and sent it to Ava with a simple caption, "Control your dog." Ava called me almost immediately. I didn't answer, so she just kept calling. I started to regret not blocking her phone number when I blocked her on iMessage a few days ago. But Ava is incredibly stubborn. After I blocked one number, she just used another phone to call me again. When I finally picked up, she started talking a mile a minute. "James, you finally answered. I've been thinking a lot these past few days, and I really do love you. For you, I'm willing to leave my circle of friends. Can we get back together? You still have feelings for me, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have cared about Ethan's provocations. Please, just give me one more chance." I took a deep breath, shocked by her overflowing confidence. After a long pause, I asked, "Do you have any thoughts on what Ethan said?" He was just upset because he saw how sad I was. He was just trying to stand up for me. "I'll introduce you two properly later, and we can clear up this whole misunderstanding." I fell silent, truly amazed by her logic. Why on earth did she think I could just clear up the misunderstanding with Ethan? In other words, if a simple introduction could have solved the problem, why didn't she do it sooner? It was nothing but self-deception. I sneered and spoke slowly. "Ava, have you ever actually thought about what our future would look like if we got married?" There was only silence on the other end of the line. I didn't rush her. I just waited quietly. She seemed to have never realized that what made me so determined to leave wasn't just her closeness with Ethan, but the most important factor, the incompatibility of our social circles. We were fundamentally incompatible, and I was always looking for a serious relationship, one that would lead to marriage. Ava seemed to muster all her strength before letting out a soft sigh. "James, I really do love you, and I want to marry you. But you know my family would never agree to it." I nodded, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "So, you should realize that this is your problem, not mine. Don't call me again." After that final conversation with Ava, I set my phone to only accept calls from my contacts, blocking all unknown numbers. I never realized how far Ethan would go for Ava, not until I received a termination notice from my company. He had used his family's influence to pressure my bosses into firing me. On my last day, my boss took me out for a drink. "James, I really had high hopes for you. According to our plan, you are on track for a promotion next year. I never expected this to happen. You probably can't stay in Chicago anymore. Since we're from the same area, I'll introduce you to someone back home. Give it a try." I had already had enough of the grueling work culture in the big city, and the company gave me a generous severance package. I tried to find some humor in the situation, thinking that at least I was saving my hair from stress-related loss. I packed my belongings and bought a train ticket back to my hometown in Madison. I never expected Ava to follow me all the way to the train station. Just as I arrived at the station plaza, she stopped me, grabbing my sleeve with a desperate look in her eyes. "James, I love you. Please don't go, okay? Stay with me. I'm willing to give up everything for you. I brought my ID and my birth certificate. We can go get married today." She looked at me expectantly, trying to hold onto my arm, but I pried her fingers off one by one. I said, "Ava, even if you wanted to marry me now, I wouldn't want to marry you." I pushed her away and quickly walked off with my suitcase. She stood there, bewildered, as if she had heard something completely unbelievable. It's laughable. She really thought that no matter what she did, I would always be there waiting for her. Fortunately, the train station had automated gates, so I didn't have to endure the scrutiny of a ticket agent. But I never expected that someone had recorded a video of the scene between Ava and me outside the station. Her attractive looks, combined with the image of a lovesick, rich girl, quickly made the video go viral on TikTok. She took advantage of the situation to start her own account, sharing stories about our past and attracting a large number of followers. Meanwhile, I was portrayed as the heartless jerk. Although Ava tried to clarify things, her explanations were always ambiguous. She would say it was all her fault, but would never specify what she had actually done wrong. In the end, people online just thought she was a lovesick fool, still defending the jerk who had hurt her. As the video spread, my life back in Madison became increasingly difficult. Strangers would often approach me and ask if I was that infamous jerk ex-boyfriend from the internet. I decided to perform a live meltdown for them. "Yes, that's me. She only came after me because her male best friend is terminally ill and needs a liver transplant. She wanted me to donate my liver to her childhood friend, and when I refused, I had to flee Chicago in the middle of the night. Take my advice. Stay away from anyone with the last name Lynn or Edwards, or you'll end up miserable. Be careful. You might be the next match, and then she'll be after your liver." I fought rumors with even crazier rumors. After that, the comment section on Ava's TikTok became increasingly strange, with people supporting her and people supporting me in a nearly even split. Gradually, she stopped updating her account, and the video's popularity finally died down. Thanks to my former boss's recommendation, I connected with a local business leader and found a well-paying job back home. At a class reunion, I even ran into my first love. Originally, most of my classmates had lost touch, but a childhood friend heard I was back and insisted on organizing a gathering. He invited everyone he could still reach, including Chloe. Chloe was sweet and cute, yet she carried a gentle, graceful demeanor. Even in our school uniforms, she always looked better than everyone else. Her smile revealed adorable dimples, and she had a warm personality. Back then, I was mischievous and always loved to tease her, which would make her glare at me angrily and declare that she wouldn't talk to me anymore. But she always did. During the stressful years of high school, Chloe was my beacon of hope. Just thinking of her made me feel like I could keep going. I had once hoped to attend the same university as her, but she unexpectedly changed her plans and stayed local, so we gradually lost contact. My high school crush was pure and beautiful. Back then, I didn't even think about being the only one with Chloe. After all, she was the most popular girl in school, the unreachable moon admired by so many. For us, she was the bright moon, out of reach but still a joy to behold. But now, at the dinner table, as everyone teased us, Chloe's eyes began to redden. "Chloe, we could never get you to come out before, but you showed up the second you heard James was back. Our school's goddess is a teacher now, still as beautiful as ever. I wonder which lucky guy will get to marry her." Chloe used to tutor James, didn't she? Even when he had a girlfriend. I shook my head and opened a bottle of beer for him. "Stop talking nonsense. We broke up a while ago." Chloe's eyes instantly lit up. She hesitated, looking at me and then at the others. When I went to the restroom, she stopped me. I'm single too, James. And they weren't wrong. I really did like you back in high school." I was stunned, not sure if it was because of her confession or her straightforwardness. Then I instinctively asked, "And now?" "Now, I still do." Chloe looked up at me, her fair cheeks glowing under the hallway lights, her eyes gentle and moist. That day, amidst the exclamations of our classmates, we got together. But I never expected Ava to be so obsessed. She followed me all the way from Chicago. She showed up with photos of us, claiming I had moved on too quickly, accusing Chloe of being a homewrecker, and even calling me a gold digger who was just using Chloe for her money. Some of her crazy fans started attacking us online, even sending letters to Chloe's school demanding that they fire her for being a teacher of poor moral character. Rumors and slander can be incredibly damaging, especially in a profession where reputation is everything. This time, I couldn't take it anymore. I decided to fight back. In response to the online rumors, I put together a complete PowerPoint presentation. If people wanted drama, I was going to give them all the drama they could handle. I started with her intimate behavior with Ethan during our relationship, then their public kiss during that dare, and then Ethan's provocations and how he pressured my company to fire me. As for Ava's claim that I used her money to support another woman, I provided detailed transaction records, listing every single one. I laid bare all those years of me scrimping and saving, just so I wouldn't feel indebted to her, just so I could feel worthy of standing by her side. All the money I managed to save was spent on her. She thought she was the one buying things for me, but in reality, I could never refuse her so-called generosity. From the very first expensive gift she gave me, I developed a habit of keeping a detailed ledger. I would research the prices of those luxury items, and the numbers weighed on me like a mountain. To repay this burden, I pushed myself to my limits to buy her gifts of equivalent value. Although to her, those gifts were insignificant. She even complained to Ethan that my gifts were old-fashioned and not to her taste. Meanwhile, Ethan, under the guise of being her best friend, was constantly undermining me while giving Ava even more expensive gifts, telling her that her friends are the ones who truly loved her. Ava was completely brainwashed by him, constantly feeling that I wasn't good enough for her. During our relationship, I spent most of my money on her, living frugally myself, but she acted as if that was just how things should be. Now that we were broken up, and she finally realized my worth, she wanted to use public opinion to force me to come back to her. I don't know who gave her that terrible idea, but I was definitely not going back. The public opinion online flipped in an instant. Ava and Ethan's identities were exposed, and the scandal even caused their family's company stock prices to drop. Ava had no choice but to post a tearful apology video on Twitter. She kept repeating how sorry she was, claiming she never knew she had caused me so much trouble and that she was completely unaware of Ethan's insults. She said she was just too in love with me to accept the fact that she had lost me. But people online weren't fools. Under her new apology video, every single comment tagged Ethan. Yeah, sure, a love so deep that you were kissing the Edwards family heir behind his back. Poor guys don't have a right to love, I guess. Stringing one along while you play games with a rich kid. Makes perfect sense. It was just for fun. Don't take it so seriously. Why are you chasing him so relentlessly now? Can't handle the game? Comments like these became more and more frequent, eventually forcing Ethan to release an apology video of his own. His face was bruised, looking like he had been disciplined by his family. Ethan's biggest mistake was looking down on and mocking ordinary people while simultaneously profiting from them. In the end, I gained a wave of new followers on my social media accounts because of the incident. Chloe, disheartened by her school's handling of the rumors, quit her job and started trying her hand at being a content creator from home. Unlike Ava's constant stream of sob stories, she simply recorded vlogs of our life as a couple. Sometimes it was just us holding hands at the supermarket. Other times it was her cooking for me and making sure I ate properly. Her fresh and simple style surprisingly attracted a lot of fans. One day, Chloe and I recorded a quick QA video, but Ava started leaving bizarre comments underneath it. Chloe specifically pinned her comment so everyone could see it. I used to make you those same lunch boxes every day, James. Don't you remember? You're just repeating our past. Doesn't that just mean you miss me? How pathetic. I hurried to clarify in the comments. That's not true. I knew for a long time that Ava can't cook. She used to pass off takeout as her own cooking. Who makes homemade steamed eggs and serves them in a plastic container? I just chose not to call her out on it while we were dating. Besides, I'm a pretty boring guy myself. I'm what some girls would call unromantic. The only dates I can think of are dinner, a movie, or shopping. It's my mundane life that has become better because you're in it. After the video was posted, Ava didn't stop. She kept comparing herself to Chloe, from her makeup to her behavior, trying to prove that Chloe was just her replacement. So, Chloe and I decided to revisit an old place. We put on our old school uniforms and went back to our high school. In the video, she sat on a desk and turned to look at me. "I've fallen in love with you 3 times," she said. "Once in high school, once right now, and once for every single moment of our future." After that, Ava finally deactivated her account and stopped commenting, because people online found out that Chloe had been single all these years. She was genuine and kind, completely different from Ava. Also, at the end of the video, I pulled out a ring and got down on one knee. "Chloe, will you marry me? The diamond might not be very big right now, but I promise to give you all of my love." The engagement party preparations went smoothly. Our parents met and were very happy with each other. Chloe's parents were both teachers, strict but with good values, while my parents both had stable jobs. We weren't wealthy, but we were comfortable. No one expected that such a dignified engagement party would be disrupted by the arrival of several Bentleys. Ethan brought Ava with him, and they barged directly into the hotel ballroom. He seemed used to acting arrogant. When the hotel staff tried to stop him, he just threw a stack of cash in their faces. "What rules? It's just about not having enough money, right? Is this enough? Get lost." Ava ignored the commotion, her eyes fixed on me as she walked closer and closer. They seemed to have come well prepared. She was even wearing a wedding dress, one far more luxurious than Chloe's gown. I was so angry I had to laugh. I instinctively shielded Chloe behind me and questioned them coldly. "This is my engagement party. If you're done making a scene, you can leave now." Ava's tears immediately started to fall, leaving 2 white streaks on her perfectly applied makeup. She said, "I know, James. I'm here to win you back. I don't mind if you think of her as my substitute. I'm willing to do anything for you. Please come with me. I really can't live without you, James. I'm pregnant with your child." As soon as she said that, everyone's expression changed. Even Ethan, who had been arguing with the staff, looked at her in surprise. No one expected her to play such a trump card. I could feel Chloe's body stiffen behind me, her grip on my hand tightening. I looked at Ava and laughed coldly. "Ava, do you think I'm an idiot? I wanted to break up with you for a long time, so we haven't been together in a while. If you count back the weeks, the timing doesn't add up at all. If you insist on this lie, I'll take you to the hospital right now, Miss Lynn. My heart belongs to my fiancé." Ava's face turned deathly pale. She looked like she was about to collapse, biting her lip so hard it started to bleed. As she fell to the ground, she looked at me with resentment and asked, "You say your heart belongs to her? Then what am I to you? What about all our beautiful memories together?" I wrapped my arm around Chloe's waist, not sparing Ava another glance. Didn't the heir to the Edwards family already say it? It was just for fun. Why are you taking it so seriously? If you insist on defining our relationship, then it was just like your relationship with Ethan, a friend you can kiss. Ava seemed unable to hear anything I was saying. She was laughing and crying at the same time, desperately crawling towards me. Her long dress tripped her up, but she just grabbed onto my suit pants. "Don't leave. Even if we're just friends, James, please don't leave." I turned to look at the furious Ethan, who was glaring at me with pure hatred. I found it laughable. Why was he blaming me instead of pulling away the hysterical Ava? A long time ago, they told me that if they had truly wanted to be together, I wouldn't have even been a factor. It wouldn't have dragged on for so long. Well, now that I'm out of the picture, why aren't they together? I pulled my pant leg free and responded one last time. "Ava, I did like you once, but that's in the past. It ended the moment you started repeatedly going to bars and messing around with your shady friends." I held Chloe's hand and walked away without looking back, completely ignoring the chaos behind us. Later, I learned that on the day of our engagement party, Chloe had asked her cousin to film the event. She had planned to edit the footage and share it online to spread our joy with everyone. However, Ava's dramatic entrance enraged her cousin, who then uploaded the unedited version of the video online, where it quickly went viral. The Lynn and Edwards families once again found themselves under public scrutiny for their children's behavior. To minimize the damage, the Edwards family brought an illegitimate son back into the family and announced him as the new heir. The Lynn family's approach was even simpler. Since Ava was pregnant, they forced her to marry Ethan and launched a series of PR campaigns. Unfortunately, the public wasn't buying it. What had started as a private matter turned into a public spectacle, and the Lynn family's PR department's condescending attitude only angered people further, leading to widespread boycotts of their products. The next time I saw news about them, it was on a true crime show. Ethan had beaten Ava to death. They had both grown up as the golden children of their families. They were close, but they both had fiery tempers. Ava was indeed pregnant, but the child wasn't mine. After our breakup, Ava was in so much pain that Ethan took her out drinking, which led to a one-night stand. Ava believed that the person she had been with that night was me, and to save face, Ethan never corrected her. It wasn't until she crashed our engagement party and announced her pregnancy that Ethan could no longer hide the truth. He had always assumed that he and Ava would eventually get married, and then they could both continue to live their separate lives while maintaining a peaceful public appearance. But Ava had truly fallen in love with me, which irked Ethan. He constantly badmouthed me to her and took advantage of her when she was vulnerable. When Ava found out who the child's real father was, she had a complete breakdown and threatened to sue Ethan. Her family, however, forced her to marry him. The Edwards family couldn't allow their bloodline to be disgraced, so the two of them were married in a hurry. But Ava blamed Ethan for ruining her relationship with me, and Ethan resented her for not appreciating him. After their wedding, their relationship quickly deteriorated. Ethan started indulging in a hedonistic lifestyle, and during one drunken argument, he beat Ava, causing her to miscarry. By the time he sobered up and took her to the hospital, it was too late. The child was gone, and Ava had died from excessive blood loss. Ethan went to prison, and by the time he was released, there was no longer a place for him in the Edwards family. He had become the very thing he despised most, an ordinary person. After this whole ordeal, both the Lynn and Edwards families were severely weakened. Their company's stock prices plummeted. It was the illegitimate son of the Edwards family who managed to turn things around, and he proactively sought to cooperate with our company. He offered very generous terms and even helped me get promoted. I was promoted 3 times in a row, and my salary tripled. I opened my own studio in my hometown, and Chloe became the boss. She spent most of her time at the studio, working and filming videos. Years later, our business grew larger and larger, becoming a well-known local enterprise. We became famous entrepreneurs in our own right. During a speech we gave as outstanding alumni at our old high school, Chloe leaned on my shoulder and whispered, "That year I stood under the cherry blossom tree, thinking that if you just turned around, I would confess my love to you. But fortunately, people who are meant to be together will always find each other. And I have some more good news for you, James. You're going to be a father." Spring was coming again, and our happiness was just beginning. Ava's epilogue. The first time I saw James, I liked him. He had a quality that was missing from everyone in my social circle. Because of that, I fell for him. I even tried to learn how to cook for him. Of course, I failed. So I usually had our housekeeper cook the food, or I would just order takeout and pretend that I had made it myself. Later, I learned that James had known all along, but had never called me out on it. Such a good man, and I lost him. I gradually forgot why I had liked him in the first place. I only focused on comparing him to the people in my circle, thinking he wasn't as wealthy as my friends, or as fun as them. It wasn't until he decided to leave that I finally woke up, but by then, it seemed it was already too late. James left without any hesitation. No matter how much I begged him to stay, he never looked back. I looked at the empty apartment and felt a deep, cold loneliness. Ethan kept sending me messages to comfort me, but I just irritably told him to stop contacting me. He asked me if I was really willing to throw away our years of friendship for some guy. I hesitated, and then I asked him for advice. Ethan was a bit of a player, and I knew that we would probably get married eventually, but I didn't like him. After all, after experiencing James's wholehearted love, who would want to be just another option for someone else? But I also had to admit I enjoyed the feeling of being adored by two different men. I tried so many ways to win James back. I was willing to give up everything to marry him. I started a social media account to document our love story. I even considered cutting ties with Ethan completely. Everything I said to James was sincere. If he had been willing to come back to me, I would have left my circle of friends and never associated with Ethan and the others again. I would have focused solely on him. I believed in James's abilities. I knew he could build a future for us. For that future, I was willing to give up all my dignity, trying again and again to get close to him, even crashing his engagement party. The wedding dress I wore held all my hopes for marriage, but on that day, those hopes were torn to shreds. The child in my belly was Ethan's. I hated him for betraying my trust, and I hated myself even more for not listening to James's warnings. When I first found out I was pregnant, I was overjoyed. I thought it was a sign that we could get back together, but I never imagined it would be the fruit of my judgment. The Lynn family, however reluctantly, gave up on me. In our circle, every benefit has a price tag, and we, the men and women, are expected to marry and provide the next bargaining chip for our families. Now that I was pregnant, I no longer had any value. Ethan could go out and party with other women. I didn't care. But I couldn't accept being confined to the Edwards house, unable to even see James from a distance. I was laughing and crying, unable to accept this life. I screamed at Ethan, who was drinking every day. If it weren't for you, if I had just decisively cut ties with you and left this circle completely, James would have married me. The person standing beside him, smiling so happily, that would be me. Ethan seemed to be enraged by my words. Before I lost consciousness, I saw an interview with him on my phone. Chloe was nestled in his arms, glowing with happiness. Originally, that happiness could have been mine. It should have been mine. I closed my eyes, full of resentment, hoping that in the next life, I could meet him again,